Well, good morning, good day. Seems like this is becoming my favorite starting spot. I didn't realize Karen's grave was so close to another very famous person. So, I'm going to walk this direction and we are going to talk about a world famous designer of menswear and fragrances. He is Bijan Pakzad. Born in Iran, Tehran, 1940. He was the son of a very diligent industrialist who wanted him to pursue a career in industry and in steel. But Bijan had other ideas. Bijan wanted to do fabrics and menswear design. So, round about in the mid to late 60s, he opened the Pink Panther Boutique in Tehran. By the way, look at how close Chris Laurie's grave is to Bijan's. I didn't know that either. I did Chris a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, he opened the Pink Panther Boutique in Tehran and decided that he really wanted to make the big bucks, the big money. So he immigrated to the United States in 1973. He settled in Los Angeles and decided to open an exclusive boutique on the world-famous Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, which he and his business partner did in 1976. And this is his grave right here. I came here this morning looking for his grave and saw two ladies decorating it with flowers. At first I didn't know it was his grave, but they told me that they're here every week. So he and his business partner opened this boutique. What they did was they bought a parking lot on Rodeo Drive, and they turned it into a building store. He was confident, Bijan was confident it would take off. And it did. It did. Right after opening, Bijan said to his business partner, I have a brilliant idea. We're going to make our customers by appointment only. So we keep the doors locked. We don't want just anybody wandering in here and looking around. It will be by appointment only. Well, this was kind of counterintuitive because, of course, if you want to maximize your profits, you're going to keep your store open as long as possible and let in as many people as possible. But he wasn't just selling clothes. I mean, he was selling designer fabric and designer menswear for many thousands of dollars. The by appointment only policy he had worked like a charm. Soon he was getting customers right and left. In his first 10 years of business, he had $150 million in revenue. So what he did, he opened a second store on Fifth Avenue in New York in 1984. They closed that store in the year 2002. But at that time, they got a lot more business. In fact, their customers included 4 kings, yes, kings, 16 presidents, obviously not all of the United States, presidents around the world. At the time that Ronald Reagan, who was one of his customers, was shot at, there was an assassination attempt made on President Reagan in 1981, Bijan designed bulletproof clothes, luxury bulletproof clothes, obviously for rich men, for presidents, for kings, etc., etc., etc. He was termed, his advertising slogan was the costliest menswear in the world. He even designed a $10,000 .38 caliber Colt automatic pistol. It was made of 24 carats of gold parts. It wasn't solid gold, but it was made with 24 carats of gold parts. He designed a limited edition of a Rolls-Royce coupe with a price tag of $1 million. His clients included 5 U.S. presidents: George Herbert Walker Bush and his son George Jr., Barack Obama, Ronald Reagan, Bill Clinton. Also, his customers were Tony Blair, Vladimir Putin, according to this article, Najib Razak, and other Middle Eastern sheiks. Also, actors like Tom Cruise, Anthony Hopkins, professional footballers like Mick McCarthy, Leon Brady. He was married twice, divorced twice. His youngest son, Nicholas, became his heir apparent. Bijan died on April 16th, 2011. Here's what's interesting. 2 days before his death, on April 14th, 2011, he had a talk with his son. His son at the time, Nicholas, was a sophomore in college. He was going to Pepperdine University. He was also a part-time employee at the store. And Bijan said to his son, "Son, you drive the best car. You live in the best house. You wear the nicest watch. So who are you to have these things?" "Well, son, I had no choice. I came to this country. I worked hard because I had to. You live in Malibu. You drive a Porsche." And Bijan said, "You wear the finest clothes." Nicholas didn't deny any of that. He said, "Thank you." But he said, "What are you going to do when you're 30, huh?" It's a talk that every father really has to have with his son. My dear old dad tried to have such a talk with me, but it didn't work. I kind of followed a different leading, and it led me to a good place. I'm certainly not a millionaire, but I'm okay. However, Bijan, he was very firm with his son. He said, "What are you going to do when you're 30, huh? You better think about this." Well, 2 days later, Bijan died. He had a stroke on April 16th. He was rushed to Cedars-Sinai Medical Hospital, but he didn't make it. Of course, news got out quickly of Bijan's death because this guy had dressed some of the most important people in the planet. At the time, the former mayor of Beverly Hills, Jimmy Delshad, who was also Iranian American, he hugged Nicholas and he said, "Guess what, son? You are Bijan now. You're a man. Make us proud. In other words, take over." It's like, are you kidding? I'm a sophomore in college. Well, he did. Nicholas made it. He pulled it together. He kept the business going. And there it is until this day. You can visit the House of Bijan on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. Nicholas is running the place. Something occurred to me as I was preparing for this. Take a look around the cemetery. This is the sea view section. Just a little part of the cemetery. That's my car down there. Again, Karen is down there, on that side. Chris is right there. But you see graves, right? Do you see rich and poor? Do you see famous and nobodies? Who do you see? I just see a bunch of graves. And Proverbs 22, verse 2 says, "The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord made them both." So there's coming a day when everyone will pass and give account to his Creator. Doesn't matter how rich or poor you are. It's not your money that will save you. It's your faith and your obedience to God. But anyway, this is a very famous man. I didn't know about him because I don't shop for expensive clothes. I don't follow fashions. I'm a Walmart, Target kind of a guy. I always have been. But whatever the state of his soul was, he, being as rich as he was and as powerful as he was, his business raked in well over $1 billion when he was beyond 10 years in business. But again, he has to give account to God, just like we all do. So before you go to meet the Lord, always make sure you're right with him. Rest in peace, Mr. Bijan. I would have loved to shake your hand and meet you, but you and I had nothing in common. So anyway, that's it for today. I love these flowers these ladies put together. And coincidentally, it's Bijan's birthday today, April 4th. I didn't know that when I came here, but that's why the ladies were here.